everyone, this is Daniel the Paladin here with Christian Adventure Gamer. I'm here with volunteer Andrew, who is volunteering for Wyrd, and he's going to demonstrate how to play Malifaux. This is a game that I've actually been looking at for some time, but never had anyone ever explain it to me. And so let's dive in here and see how it's played.
So it's a tactical skirmish game, full game. We're talking about roughly a dozen models per side. This quick little demo, we've only got 4 models set up. It's a point-based game, so you can actually wipe me off the table, but if I, at the end of 5 turns, was able to score more victory points before I died than you could, I'm still going to win. And the way you score those points kinds of makes things interesting. Typically speaking, in a full game, there's a strategy that we both know what it is. You can earn 4 points from it. I can earn 4 points from it. 1 point per turn from turns 2 to 5. It's a 5-turn game. Sometimes it's set up such that we can both score that. Other times, only one of us can get it. Then additionally, there's a pool of 5 schemes. We'll both know what those 5 schemes are, but you're going to secretly select 2. I'll select 2, and we're only going to reveal those when we score them. So you know what I might be after, but you don't know for sure what I'm after. We'll come back to that. As I tend to go big picture now, you know. So it's a 5-turn game, all based around points. The way it will work is if you'll shuffle up a deck.
Does this need to go in the deck? Nope.
No, keep that aside. This is a modified 54-card poker deck.
Yeah, that's what it looks like. It looks like a poker deck. So someone could actually just play with the poker deck.
Absolutely. There's a conversion guide for changing hearts and spades into masks and rams, because the suits are important.
Yeah.
There's also a red and black joker in the deck.
Okay.
Red joker is highly beneficial, black joker is terrible. Red joker trumps anything but the black joker. Black joker trumps everything. The catchphrase of the day was bad things happen.
Bad things happen.
So you are going to draw up a hand of 6 cards. We're not playing a full game or even a full turn, but this is what you would do at the beginning of the turn. This gives you a control hand, and it's going to allow us to cheat fate as our time moves on a little bit. And so then the way the activation system works is basically it's an I go, you go. We'll flip the top card of our deck. I'm a 10. You're a 6, so I'm going to have a net.
So is that initiative? Whoever has the highest
This is initiative.
Okay.
Full game, we've got this resource called Soul Stones that I might spend to flip, or that you might spend to flip another card and win, or we might burn a Soul Stone, use it. They never come back, they never get replenished when you spend them, so you've got to be careful to draw 2 extra cards and discard 2 cards to stack our deck a little bit. Once we're all set, and in this scenario, we'll just go with the 10. I've won initiative. I'll activate a person, you'll activate a person, I'll activate, you activate. When everyone has either activated or is dead, round ends, we'll check for any end of turn scoring. There's a reset phase where you'll shuffle your discard pile into your deck, discard any cards you don't like from your hand to start a new discard pile before drawing up, so you can kind of stack your deck a little bit, and then draw your 6-card hand to start another turn. And so, in our scenario, let's just say that my blood wretch is here in melee with your orderly. So I've won initiative, I'm going to attack. We've got our cards, and so going here, we've got defense, willpower, wounds. That 5 wounds corresponds to the dots underneath. There's a walk value, which is how far you move in inches with a 1 AP walk. There's a charge value, how far you can move in inches with a 2 action point, takes your whole turn charge. Height, most things are 2, some things are 1 or 3. Often doesn't come into effect, but when it does, it can be crucial, because maybe I've got a big guy that can eat your height 1 guy and just totally obliterate it in 1 hit. Various just for the example.
Okay. Would you normally measure 8 inches?
Yeah, normally I
or
would.
Whatever the charge is?
Yeah.
Okay.
Just for the demo purposes, I'm just more setting up a scenario to show you the mechanics of the game.
I'm just trying to figure out how it's played. So,
yeah, typically, say I started here, I could either move up to my 5 inches for 1 AP, and then I could take my second AP to attack you. Or I can declare charge action, which is, in this scenario, would be more advantageous. I'm spend both my AP, I move in a straight line that has to end an engagement with you, but I don't have to go straight towards you. So I can go off to the side or what have you. And then we'll talk about the attacks on the back of the card. But so let's just say I started here. I am going to charge you, which actually brings an effect into the game that's interesting. So I charge for 2 AP. I move up to my charge value in inches towards you.
So how many AP does a person start with?
2.
2.
For each you're a master or have a special ability, you would get 2.
So it's 2 for each?
For each of our people would have 2.
Okay, okay.
And you can walk twice with it. The charge would take both of them. If you're already in melee, you could attack twice, you can shoot twice. Unless something says otherwise, you can do the same thing multiple times a turn. Cards always overrule the basic rules. So let's say I've charged, and I've gone to there. And so this took 2 AP, but I get the movement 2 free melee swings. So on the back of the card, we see our melee action. I've got this number in parentheses. The 1 here in this case is the number of AP this melee attack is going to take to do.
Okay.
Following that, it says it's an ML6. That means it's melee 6. It could be shooting or casting. Every now and again, I might be special good if I'm using melee, or you may have special defenses against an attack type. I'll show you what the 6 means in a moment.
So how do you know when someone has range or melee?
Getting to it, it's at the end of the card. It's resisted by your defense going over. The range then has a little claw symbol with 1 inch. So that means it's a melee attack done in close combat with a 1 inch range. Standard melee range might be more like 2 inches. Some crazy melee models might have 4, but it ranges between 1 to 4 typically. So then after that, it's going to say target what the attack is going to do, which typically involves damage. There might be triggers, which we'll get to.
Okay.
So in this case, let's say I've charged you. So I'm going to flip the top card off my deck, which is a 13. I didn't stack that, I swear.
Yeah.
And I'm adding my melee value of 6, so I'm at a 19 for my attack. You're going to flip a card and add this guy's defense, which I do believe is a 6. Nope, your defense is a 5. So you are currently a 15 to my 19.
Is that this guy there, or?
Yes, he is an orderly. He's that big.
Oh,
he's the larger orderly, but they're the same stats.
His defense is?
Defense on the front, DF 5.
Okay, DF. Okay, yeah, 5 plus, so
10.
15.
So you're a 15, I'm at a 19. Currently, I'm hitting you, you're losing. This is when our control hand starts to come into play.
Okay.
You can entirely replace that card, you don't get to add to it, with the card in your control hand. If you can beat me, then it's going to force me to cheat higher. 13's top number card in the game, other than the red Joker, which counts as a 14. So I'm unlikely to be able to cheat higher.
Okay.
But if you can tie me or make me succeed less, it's beneficial.
Yeah.
So if you tie my number, when I get to damage, I'm going to flip 3 cards to see how much damage I do, and I have to take the lowest. And because that's a negative flip, I'm flipping extra cards and I have to take the low. That means I can't cheat the damage flip from my hand. If If I'm winning by 1 to 5, I flip 2 cards, take the lowest. 6 to 10 if I'm winning by, like it is right now. No, I'm 19 to 15, so we're not there yet. But at 6 to 10, I flip the top card off my deck, but then I can cheat a card from my hand. If I'm winning by 11 or more, flip 2 cards, take the best.
Okay.
So let's say you don't want to cheat, just...
What if I do want to cheat?
Well, go for it.
So let's say the black jester.
You don't want to do that.
Okay, so what happens if I play this?
Your value goes to 0 plus 5, and now I'm at 19 versus 5. Black Joker's bad luck.
Okay, so let's say I do 11.
That gets you to a 16, but the difference between your 15 and my
I don't take as much damage, right?
No, it's... You want to change in numbers of 5.
Okay.
So I'm currently winning by 4, going to 16 takes it to 3. Unless you can make me miss by 0, you're not going to improve your status.
Yeah, so then I don't do nothing.
Okay, so I'm flipping 2 cards, taking the lowest. They're both weak, so you'll see we've got this 2, 3, 5 damage. That's weak, moderate, severe. They're marked on the cards, but 1 through 5 would be weak. 6 through 10 is moderate. 11 plus is severe. So this weak damage attack does 2 damage to you.
Okay.
His life, he's got 6 wounds, and so we would use a marker.
WD is wounds.
We would use a marker, mark those off to track the damage right on the card. Yeah, they did provide one. Good. So you would take that, you take your wounds, and then just to continue this particular example, let's say that I'm going to do my second swing because we've resolved that first AP. So I'll...
Didn't you take an AP to move over there?
No, I charged for both of my action points, but the charge gives me 2 free melee attacks. Afterwards. So in this case, I'm getting another swing at.
Gotcha. Is that for everyone, or is that an ability?
That's for everyone.
Okay.
So then I flipped a 5 plus that 6 is an 11. Goes to your defense.
So now I can cheat.
Right. So you cheated in a 9. Your defense is 4. You're 14. It comes back to me.
My defense is a 5.
Oh, defense is 5. I think I did the math right and said the wrong number.
Yeah.
It's been a long time.
Yeah, 14. Yeah.
So you're at a 9 plus 5 goes to 14. I'm currently missing. I have a chance to cheat. Once we both had one chance to cheat, we're done.
Yeah.
So if I can cheat to at least tie you, I'll get to flip the cards for damage. If not, I don't. In this case, let's just say that I don't, and I save my hand. Now, where we can get... So we'll go back to your activation. Let's just set up a slightly different scenario to showcase something a little different. Let's say my attacks kill you. Let's just, hypothetically, he's gone, and I've got this guy left. So let's say you activate Nurse Heartsbane. So from the front of her card, we can see that at the end of her activation, she'll heal a damage. She's got defensive trigger there, which we'll talk about in a moment. And in the name of research, if she kills an enemy model, she can draw a card and discard a card. So some models give you card draw or card cycling abilities, which can be pretty powerful.
Okay.
But then she's got 2 attacks on the back of her card. She's got Electroshock and Hold Still Deer. Electroshock is melee. Hold Still Deer is ranged. It's a cast attack. So let's say you want to do this ranged attack. centimeters.
Oh, other side.
Yep.
So it didn't look
It's a little unfortunate that the ones provided come with both sides.
Oh yeah, I got plenty.
Yeah, and so it's just base to base. So you've got it. And so you're going to be at a cast 6 versus my defense. So we're back to flipping the top part of our deck. I'm a defense of 6, so I'm at a 14. You're doing your cast attack. You're at a 16. With this attack, the other thing I want to show you. Nope, I'm wrong. We'll show that other thing in a moment. But so what this is going to do is I failed. It's not doing damage, but it causes an effect. Target model gains the following condition: strapped down. This model cannot walk or take charge actions till the end of the turn. So she's got a way to lock people down. The thing I really wanted to show, so let's pretend I know what I'm doing, is let's say she's in melee with you and she really wants to electroshock you. So we'll set that attack up. Let's actually say you flipped that. It's useful for the demo. And so you're at 10 plus 6 for 16. I'm at 9 plus my willpower 5. I'm at 14. You're winning. Let's say I can't or don't want to cheat, so I won't cheat. You're hitting. Before we flip for this damage track, which is the not bad 246 damage, you're hitting me on a mask, which correlates to a mask right there. That's called a trigger. So we'll read it to see what it does. It's called Put the Restraints On. After damaging, the target gains the following condition till the end of the turn. Straitjacket, this model may not take attack actions. So you're going to declare that trigger before we flip for damage. Then you're going to flip 2 cards and take the lowest. Moderate. Red Joker. So normally you're forced to take the lowest card on an active flip. Red Joker trumps that. When the Red Joker comes out, you're going to do your severe damage plus your minor damage. Oh, weak damage. So you have in fact just done 8 damage to completely obliterate that guy. Remove him from the table.
Nice. Now you trigger the model draw card or something, right?
What? Oh yeah, and you killed a model, so you draw a card, discard a card.
Okay. Actually, you know what? I'll take that and get rid of this.
Right. Although,
One's better than...
And so that's the basic mechanics of the game.
Yeah.
Where it gets interesting is like in some of the victory points. One for there of the schemes I talked about.
Yeah.
There's about, I think maybe a pool of 18 available, of which we're pulling 5 from. But one of those, for instance, is called. I knew it, and I've been saying it all convention. Take one for the team. I want to frame you for murder for victory points. So I'm going to nominate one of my guys as the sucker. If you kill my guy, I get a point. 1 of 10 precious points. If you kill my guy on turn 4 or 5, I'm selling it a little better, and I get 2 points. And if you kill me with a guy who costs more than my sucker, I get an extra 3rd point. And so, or in another instance, maybe we're in melee with each other, and I've got this pretty beefy guy, but to get a point, it's better for me to ply you for information with one of my precious action points, and then at the end of the round, based on the strategy, if that's what we're fighting for, whoever's got the most ply for information gets a point and the other person doesn't. So there's a lot of combat going on that's very important to the game, but there's a lot of subtlety and interaction in terms of how points are scored, and the triggers go to combos, and kind of how the game will play out.
So it's more than just combat.
Yeah, far, far more.
Combat is such a little part of it. I mean, killing model helps. Yeah. Killing model helps, but for me, that's all it does. It just helps you with controlling the adversary. But maybe in the previous turns you scored enough VPs, and in the end of the game, you actually do win. So it's really
like
about strategies.
So you're like playing a story.
Yeah, very story driven.
Okay, cool.
There's 7 factions. There's no good guy. There's no bad guy. So for instance, with these crews, you're playing the guild. You're representing law and order in Malifaux. You're protecting people from the never-born demons of the world. You're protecting them from the undead. You're also the evil empire who have enslaved all the commoners to work for you and make you wealthy.
So like you were saying, like trying to get information from the other.
Right, that would be like
And
the
is there
play for
something that
information
you would
strategy.
read that tells you like a script of like what? is
Yeah,
happening?
so we would generate, and we can do it by a book with card flips, or I can go to an app.
Oh, there's an app.
There's an app, and there's everything on the app. So you have all the schemes and the strategies, and you have all the cards. So all those, you have it in digital version. And then there's a crew builder. It's all in the app. So it's really cool because if I'm playing him, and I don't know what his models do, but then I can just go in the app and check. Oh, this one is defense 5, and so you can kind of.
That makes the game a whole lot better for me.
It's
And you can
amazing.
play the game without the app, absolutely, but it makes it way easier.
Oh yeah, you're like, okay, can I see your card? Then like it's different.
The app is free, although for $9.99 you unlock all the model statistics and upgrade cards in the game, both up to date and for forever. So when this next wave of models hits a Gen Con, everyone with the app who's paid that $9.99 gets all of that information for
Right.
free.
In fact, maybe the best thing is that they periodically touch up some of the things, and they,
There'll be erratas for that.
there's erratas and stuff, and then you don't have to get a new card. It just gets updated on the app. If this guy goes from walk 5 to walk 6, then it gets live updated on the app. So it's really a nice.
Okay.
And so, like, there's, for instance,
You can keep
our
track of your
deployment
victory
is standard, our strategy is extraction, which is there's a model in the center. I play over these 5 schemes, tap the scheme, it gives you the rules on how you score points for that.
Okay.
And then it gives you an option for taking points away or giving points to, so that you can score the game real time very easily as you go.
All right. Well, thank you very much, Andrew. I appreciate it.
Absolutely. Any further questions?
No. I want to get my hands on this game, but unfortunately, I spent a lot of money, so I'm gonna have to wait till Gen Con.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
And you said there was new models coming out at Gen Con?
Yeah, they come out all the time. But one of the nicest things I like about Malifaux is that the entry level is very low, because you normally play a full game about 50 soul stones.
Yeah.
This is the cost here. And any starter box, the big boxes that you see there, they contain between 30 and 35. And so that's almost a full game. So all you need to start for a crew is 1 starter box and maybe 1 or 2 little booster packs.
Okay.
And that gives you 50 soul stones. You can play as much as you want with it. And then, it's up to you to pick and choose, okay, I'm going to add this guy now because it gives me some variety. And then you slowly start adding. But the crew boxes are what, 40 or 45?
40 to 50, depending on
Yeah.
how much,
And then
how
the
big
expansion
those
boxes
models are.
10, 15, whatever.
Okay.
So it's really
So you
neat.
can get easily started for about
Easily,
60
yeah.
bucks.
You need 8 to 10 models and starter box with 1 or 2 expansion boxes.
The story I tell is after I got into the game, I've been playing for a few months. A friend and I went to a tournament at a convention as the new guys, and we just went to play and have fun. My friend ended up winning that tournament having spent less than $100 on his total models. And to be able to be competitive and win in a tournament setting for less than $100 in a miniatures game is almost unheard of. But he put together a very strong crew. He played it well, managed his resources, and boom. So getting a strong start
It's
for
very much about knowing what your crew does, and the starter boxes are all thematic. So it's like the Swamp Witch with his minions and the doll, or the Dreaming Kid with his nightmares, and it's all like very thematic. So it's already built to work together.
Okay.
And then you can kind of add or replace this model and that model. It is really, it's entirely possible to have. Of course, the faction is really huge, so
Yeah.
after, there's no limit to how much you can expand, right? So I have 3 factions now, 2 of them large, and then another one I have 2 masters. but it's not a huge. I know because I played many miniature games, and in some of them you need, I don't know, 2,000 points, and like you just buy all these units and you're not even able to play.
I heard that you can actually play with the Puppet Wars with Malifaux. I heard is there a conversion kit?
There is, okay, so any weird model of any game is a legal model to be played in tournaments. Of course, if you play just for fun, you can do whatever you want, but usually conversions and proxies are accepted if they are any weird model, or if it's non-weird models, you can use up to 30% or something of like
if you're doing
parts.
your own custom
your custom
sculpts.
So you can even do your custom. There are some conversion kits. I think there should be one of them. For example, there is a male and there's a female also, multi-part kit. So it gives you like a bunch of body options and arms and heads, and you can make.
Okay.
Yeah, or you can. I mean, what I like to do with this is to take some existing models and then, for example, replace some arms, modify them a little bit. So this is like already a conversion kit. But then, of course, you can bash as much as you want. You can make stuff with green stuff.